this is Wade from High Tech Legion, and this is an overview of the ASUS GTX 660 DirectCU 2 Overclock Edition graphics card. As you can see, we've got a non-reference cooling design here with two dustless fans and a copper heat pipes. On the top of it, we have the single 6-pin power connector, as well as our SLI port, which is currently covered up right now. On the bottom is the PCI Express 3.0 slot, and our fan power connector plugs into the board down here. On the back of the card, we have a full display port, full HDMI port, DVI-D, and DVI-I, which also supports VGA. This graphics card uses the GK106 GPU core from NVIDIA and is factory overclocked to 1020 megahertz for the base clock, which from the standard 980, and 1085 megahertz for the boost clock from the standard 1033. It features 2 gigs of GDDR5 memory on a 192-bit memory bus clocked at 6008 megahertz, and a 3-year warranty from ASUS. It is roughly 10.2 inches long and 5.2 inches high, as well as 1.5 inches wide. So it's not a really huge card necessarily, but I will show you with a tape measure so you can see exactly how long it is. Now I'd like to show you some benchmarks, and then finally take the heatsink off of the graphics card so that you can see the PCB itself. Before I do that though, the accessories that are included are a driver CD, which includes the GPU tweak utility from ASUS for performance tuning the card, as well as a quick setup guide in full color that's multilingual. Now onto the benchmarks. Here we have the 3D Mark 11 results for the GTX 660. Some benchmarks in frames per second for DirectX 11 games in HD, as well as the temperature and power results for this card. Here I've removed the 4 screws from the back of the GPU to take the heatsink off and give you a better look at it, as well as the PCB of the card. As you can see, we've got 3 flattened copper heat pipes here. These are in direct contact with the GPU, giving better heat dissipation and allowing for a higher overclock since you're getting lower temperatures. With this, we have a fan connector that goes through to the 2 fans on the front of the heatsink that are housed in a dust-proof shroud, reducing the amount of dust that gets into the heatsink, meaning that the card will run cooler over long periods of time. You'll get a longer life of the card since it's not overheating. And for a better look at the PCB itself, we have our PCI Express 3.0 connector here. ASUS has added a metal spine to the top of the PCB to give it better stiffness, and you can see we've got our SLI connector on the top as well, and our PCI Express power connector, 6.6-pin power connector. This is where the fan connection goes into, and on the GK106 GPU core, we've got a metal border that adds some support to the GPU itself, 4 Samsung memory chips, as well as ASUS's proprietary super alloy power chokes, MOSFETs, capacitors, and caps. What these are, being a motherboard manufacturer, they've developed a special alloy to let these components take more voltage, and you'll get more longevity and cooler running a cooler running card. Here is the Digi Plus VRM power controller, as well as the 6-phase power setup on this card. On the back of the PCB, we actually have 2 LEDs here, which are diagnostic. When the power is not plugged in, you get a red light. Once the power is plugged into the 6-pin connector and is running, you get a green light. I hope you enjoyed the overview of this card. Be sure to check out our video on overclocking it, and check out the full review at www.hightechlegion.com. Enjoy!